Hi, and welcome to Happy Plate. I'm Joy.
And I'm Zach.
Today we are going to make sufganiyot, which is the Hebrew word for donuts.
The gist of it is to use lots and lots of oil.
Basically, we're going to fry everything in oil for like 8 days. It's going to be great. You're going to break out, but you know what? It's worth it, right? If you'd like to learn more about Hanukkah, then you can watch this Manabite video right here somewhere.
Fun fact, Joy, I've never made donuts before.
I haven't either.
If this counter's glossy, it's full of oil.
Yeah, I spilled vegetable oil everywhere. Everywhere. And you didn't help me clean up. Quick shout out to our aprons here. Joy Bay and Latke Lover. I did find a foolproof recipe by Martha Stewart.
Not a sponsor.
So let's just hope Martha Stewart knew what she was doing.
This is in no way a gluten-free, dairy-free, or otherwise cruelty-free, cage-free, free-range, grass-fed, nuclear fallout-free, or mercury-free recipe, so eat at your own discretion.
So the first thing you have to do before we get started is we have to make our yeast mixture. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast, a tablespoon of granulated sugar, a half a cup of warm water. I'm going to give it a little swish around with a fork. That's a technical term, swish around. We're just going to let this chill for like 10 to 15 minutes. Now we are going to get started on making our dough. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we are going to make a little well in the center. We are going to add our yeast mixture. 2 teaspoons of salt, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter at room temperature. So it's like really, really soft. And then we are going to add 2 eggs. I almost forgot the 2 eggs. Okay. That was very poorly cracked. I learned that from Emerald Lagasse.
Just a pinch of wine.
My hands. Salmonella. To stir this until my biceps get bigger. I'm assuming. This sounds good. Okay, so dough. Heavily flour our surface. I'm not gonna be ashamed. And now let's scrape this guy out of here. Oh, this is a heavy bowl. If you don't have biceps by the end of this baking video, you did it wrong. That's why I wore sleeveless. Now to knead dough, if you've ever made biscuits, that sounded very southern. If you've ever made biscuits, oh, we're sticking. Firm and gluten-filled. So now we are going to get a bowl and we are going to oil it. I forgot to put sugar in this dough. Zach, why are you making me do this all by myself? I don't know how to make donuts. All right, people, so this is what I'm gonna try to do. Don't do this at home because I did it wrong. So, whenever we previously just had this all out looking all nice and fancy, you would have needed 1/4 a cup of sugar to add into that mixture. Now, I'm gonna be a really weird person and try to put it into the dough. Let's see if it works, people. What have I done? Jed snuck in here and took a bite of the dough and he was like, what is wrong with this dough? It's really salty. So then Zach tasted it and he's like, this is too salty. Then I tasted it and I was like, this is too salty. It's okay, people. Sometimes you gotta do these things. I'm gonna say the best part would be so that no one will ever know this, but you know what? We're posting a video about it. This is real life. We flour our surface a lot better than what it is right now. Perfect. Take our dough that has been rising for like 2 hours.
Like 3.
3 hours.
You gotta get it nice. It's got to look like Jesus Christ on Easter morning. Okay.
Oh, flavor. Time to flow with the dough. Did you see how that came out? That's because you oil your foil. And you are gonna get to rolling, buddy-o. Probably wanna put a little flour.
You gotta get it nice and worked out first before you go rolling it. You can't be just rolling it from a giant heap. You just gotta You know, you gotta treat this dough like a baby.
This is a really heavy, okay, thank you.
Just go with what looks good, you know? There's no mistakes here, just happy accidents as we roll the dough. You know, you gotta really start to feel the dough. Feel the dough through the rolling. You just gotta feel it, you know? You gotta rub it down and just really feel how the dough makes you feel, because you gotta be one with the dough. If you're not one with the dough, you just don't really know how the dough feels today. You know, the dough has a mind of its own. It's a living creature.
So how does the dough feel today?
It's feeling sad, and it suffers from seasonal depression. You gotta really perk it up. Like, say nice things to it, like you're good dough. You're very fluffy dough.
You're gonna overcome.
You're overcoming, and just think of the hot bath you're gonna have in that wonderful oil. I mean, really think about that hot bath.
We're gonna take a donut cutter. I have no idea what size this is. Can someone give me an estimation?
Mason jar sized.
You can't use a mason jar because Martha Stewart, she said no. She said if you're gonna make donuts, you better get yourself a donut cutter because it's unprofessional otherwise.
Don't take advice from someone spending life in prison.
Amen.
Whenever you're making donuts, always remember to have fun, and the funnest thing you can do is to eat raw dough.
We have to use that for more donuts. All right, Zach, are you ready?
Yes, so ready.
Stink it and sink it?
Yeah. Very good. That sure can be deadly, kid.
All right, high five, Zach. All right, guys, so that has been super fun making donuts with you. We hope that you enjoyed this video.
Thank you. Till next time.
Bye.